What's up, everybody? I got Zach here and Michelle. Today we're gonna try some weird food combinations. Are you ready?
Yes!
If you try the least amount of food, you're gonna get pied.
Zach's gonna lose!
So,
Oh no.
are you guys up for it?
Yes!
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, this is gonna be fun. Let's begin. First one is
Oh,
avocado and sugar.
I hate avocado.
You're starting losing already, Zach. Now here's the deal, you don't have to try it. You just lost 1 point.
I'll take the smaller piece so Zach doesn't take it.
Cheers.
Mmm,
That's delicious.
that's really good!
Oh,
Yummy!
Oh, I regret that.
I say Zach gets a point. He tried it.
He tried it.
Good job, Zach. All right, round 2. Next one is
Oh, is that popcorn and ketchup?
I'm out.
Wait, you don't like it?
I don't like ketchup.
No way. Actually, really good.
Is it good? No? Oh, Michelle likes everything.
Don't try this at home, please.
Let's jump on to the next. And the next one is oh, French fries and Nutella.
Zach is the only person I know that doesn't like potatoes.
You don't like potatoes?
I don't like chocolate, but Nutella's not too bad.
How can you not like Nutella and French fries? Cheers. No?
No.
Oh, I love that one.
The combination's not bad.
Kind of like a dessert together with fries. Kind of weird. Did you like it? You did?
Actually, I ended up liking it.
Wow, you? Next one is
Oh,
Yummy!
sugar and bread?
finally a normal one.
Who puts sugar on bread?
I do.
You do? Is this a normal thing? Yeah. Oh, wait, there's also butter. Sugar, butter, and bread.
Mo butter, no better.
Cheers.
That's pretty good.
Oh, wow. That tastes like a donut.
Delicious. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 would recommend, Zach.
Finally, something edible.
That was amazing, everybody. We really like that one. Next one is pickled onions and peanut butter.
So earlier, Guga served me bull testicles, but this is where I draw the line.
Well, at least somebody's gonna tire with me. You?
Oh, I love pickled onions.
Oh, let's go. I like that.
At first I didn't, but now I do. That's good.
I like that.
They're tricking you, don't eat it.
Next one. Let's go for it. It is, oh, fries and ice cream.
I heard it's good.
Well, let's dig in. Zach, would you like some fries?
I don't want to lose, but I would not like some fries.
Well, me and you are losing right now. Michelle is killing it.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, let's see.
Wasn't too bad.
These fries are terrible, everybody.
With crispy fries, I say yes.
I will stick with the A5 dry-aged Wagyu steak.
Very next one. They told me to be very careful with it. And
What is that?
coffee and cheese. So here's how it works. You grab the cheese and you dunk it in the coffee just like that, like a dipping sauce.
I don't know about this one.
You don't like coffee, Zach?
No, I hate coffee.
You don't have to. You're just gonna get pied in the end. Cheers. That's amazing. No? Oh, I like it so much.
Not the best one, but it's good.
I gotta be honest, this is one of my favorite ones.
I will never look at cheese the same way.
All right, let's go. And this is cereal. And wait. What's happening? Oh, it's yogurt.
Yum.
Let's go for it. Cheers.
I'm trying to find the driest pieces.
That's amazing.
Yummy.
Very yummy. Zach?
I would like plain yogurt next time.
That was delicious, everybody. Don't listen to Zach. Ready for the next is? Oh, wow. Oreo and mustard.
I hate mustard.
Zach, you out? Zach is out. Oh, Zach's getting pied. Are you out too?
I'm doing it.
Oh, you're doing it. Okay, we're doing it together. Cheers. It's weird at first, and then you mix it. When you mix it in your mouth, it's amazing. No? No? Next one is?
Zach's gonna lose!
We got pickles and peanut butter, everybody.
I will never put a pickle in my mouth.
Okay, let's go for it.
go.
All right.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers. I love pickles and I love peanut butter, but I don't love this.
No, not together.
This is a terrible combination. All right, very next one, and it is? Ooh, Nutella and potato chips.
I really like both.
Zach hates potatoes.
Chips are fine.
Chips are fine. Oh, okay. All right, let's go for it.
Let's
All right,
begin.
let's give it a go. Cheers.
Wow, that's really good.
That is amazing.
Delicious.
Delicious.
This one is interesting. I think everyone's gonna like this.
What is this one?
Let's see what it is. Oh, come on. This one is delicious.
I
You
don't
know what
like
it is?
Tahini.
You don't like tahini? Oh, no. Do you like watermelon, Zach?
He likes watermelon, but he doesn't like the thing on top.
He doesn't like tahini. Let's give it a go, everybody. Cheers. That is amazing for me.
It's so sour.
It
It's
is
so
sour.
spicy. It's not my favorite.
That is delicious.
Wow.
10 out of 10 will highly recommend. This one is the finale. You guys ready?
Ready?
And let's...
It's white chocolate and caviar.
White chocolate and caviar. Zach, please, do you like caviar?
Yes.
Do you like chocolate?
White chocolate's not bad.
Michelle?
Yeah.
Ready? Like a true professionals. Let's give it a go. Cheers.
This is what professionals do?
Yes. That is terrible.
It's awful.
It's so bad.
Awful, actually.
Why is that so bad? I thought it was gonna be okay. You all right, Zach? Are you ready for it, Zach?
I hate whipped cream.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna put both of their channels on the description down below. Make sure you check it out, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. On today's video, I was able to find a person that is more insane about meat than me. If you love dry age, you're gonna like this one right here because this one is about to get crazy, real. Remember that video, everybody? I reacted to that video. That thing didn't even look like beef anymore. It looked like cheese. That is something that I hope one day I am crazy enough to make it. I've dry aged steaks like that before, but it wasn't as... I noticed a few things. That is a full rib, which is a 7-bone full rib. I can also tell you that it's prime because that is thick. And obviously it's bone in, which is even more expensive. He seasoned it. I'm pretty sure he dry brined it so that the seasoning can go inside deeply into that meat, especially the salt. And also it's tied up so nothing will fall apart.
This could revolutionize prime rib as we know it, right?
Well,
If
I don't
this
know.
really works-
It's very expensive to do it this way, but
What did I say? That is ridiculously expensive, everybody. I'm gonna shoot it under over here and say that this is literally $1,000 piece of meat. Now, if you portion it, a nice big thick steak like that, $150 cost for each one plus the restaurant fee. You're talking about each individual steak once it's completely done and cooked.
$500 a piece of steak.
Now, would you pay that? That's a lot of money.
Generally
Stick in the head.
This is the Nutella dry aging experiment, so let's do it.
Just like me, everybody, we're both sick. 200 days. You know what? He got balls. That's what it is. I give it up. He got big balls, man, and I like it. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't like his balls. We are talking about confit, but I want you to notice exactly what he's using, everybody. Sous vide. It's being sous vide in fat. And if you know me, I've dedicated an entire channel for sous vide, and I love it, and it is one of the most successful way to cook any protein to make sure that you don't overcook anything. That's why he's using it. He doesn't want to it up. Confit, everybody, he should say it like it is. Confit is being cooked in fat. That's what it is. That's sous vide. Notice that he has a circulator, a thermometer in there. He's monitoring the crap out of this thing because he don't want to mess it up. And I don't blame him. That's a lot of money.
57 hours later, we are at 129.
57 hours later? No, there's no way that that's 57 hours later. Out of the bag and you remove it. It's great. It's not sexy. It doesn't have a crust. It's lacking that beautiful thing that we all love, everybody, which is Maillard reaction, which is what you want. That savoriness, crust, delicious saltiness is so desirable. We here are addicted to it. No crust, no good. But before moving forward, let me thank today's sponsor, ZBiotics. We all have busy lives these days and can't afford to waste a day stuck on a couch because of a few drinks the night before. ZBiotics is the answer we've all been looking for. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to help you feel better the morning after drinking. And here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make ZBiotics your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly and you'll feel your best tomorrow. One bottle of ZBiotics is the same cost of one cocktail, but nothing beats the price of a fresh morning. Go to zbiotics.com/Guga or scan the QR code on the screen right now to get 50% off your first order when you use code Guga at checkout. You can also sign up for a subscription using my code so you can stay prepared no matter the time time or occasion. ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you are unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/Guga and use the code Guga at checkout for 15% off. But thanks ZBiotics for sponsoring this video, but now let's get right back to it. It is time cooking this wonderful piece of meat so that you have a nice edge-to-edge perfection, which is medium rare. And the last thing you want is to cook in something that is not that hot and mess it up by creating a huge gray band. That's why I love to use the flamethrower whenever I'm cooking a sous vide, because I'm looking for that type of huge medium rare section in the middle without any gray band at all. That is something on another level. And if you never had sous vide, you're missing.
Funky.
See that big piece of steak with the bone right there? I would say minimum, if you buy on a restaurant setting, that whole thing, $600, everybody. I'm telling you. And it will probably be extremely reasonably priced, because if you try to buy that in Salt Bay's restaurant, NANI? That guy. Yeah, me and him were not. Why wasn't there a reaction from Nick? Maybe he didn't like it and they wanted to cut that off to keep the suspense. Because I'll tell you one thing, the most important thing is the reaction when you're taking a bite. So if you're taking a bite and you're going, you can tell immediately, but that was cut off. Now, this gets me a little worried.
It has gentle, soft, roasted flavors. This does not have those. This is like, boom, like dry.
He doesn't like it, everybody. He's just not telling you. Let's see.
This is just one of the best pieces of meat I've ever had, period.
Oh, I was completely wrong. He's a freak like me.
I almost think that this is too much for prime rib.
Oh, you see, maybe he didn't like it. Maybe it is too much. Wow, now I'm confused. What is it? Is it too much? Is it not too little? What is it? That explains it all, everybody, why he didn't have his reaction. You see? I can tell immediately. Great video, a little bit too long. I would have done it for a little bit less time, but nevertheless, is an experience that a lot of people will never get to have, and he had it, and I wish I was there to eat it with him. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. On today's video, we're going to be learning everything there is to know about making the perfect burger with the GOAT himself, George Motz. If you ever seen a video on YouTube about burgers, you've came across this guy. And if there's one person I respect the most, it's him. Today, he's going to be schooling me on how to make the perfect Oklahoma-style burger. So let's begin.
I've been obsessed with burgers easily for about 25 years now. Hamburger America is the name of the documentary film I made in 2004. I have since then written 5 books. I've had 3 TV shows and now a restaurant. 2 burgers that are on the menu are there because I believe that those are primary source burgers that go back to the dawn of the hamburger.
2 burgers. He has 2 burgers on the menu. That goes to tell you something, everybody. When you go to a restaurant, you don't want a restaurant that makes everything, because normally when that happens, it doesn't mean that they focus on one thing. This guy knows what he's doing because he's only focusing on 2 types of burgers. You know what that means? Those burgers are gonna be extremely delicious.
Good morning. I'm George Motz, burger scholar, and this is Hamburger America. Come on in. We built the restaurant of my dreams. I was not trying to do something that's silly and retro, but based on history. What would an old school diner do? And we actually made it happen. I can't believe it.
I love the look of the restaurant, everybody. Old school diner. It looks like you're back in history when you walk in. Man, George, I would love to go to the restaurant, man.
Incoming. Oh, you have to make sure we blur out this machine, so no one saw this, right? This is proprietary. You don't have to blur out Antonio. This is Antonio. All the burgers have onions, and we sell a lot of burgers. Our onions have to be the perfect thinness, so they cook faster because that's the way they did it back in the old days.
Now, what I like to do normally is just use a mandolin because I'm cooking for myself or my guys. But if you're cooking for masses like he is, you have to use some type of machine. And I'm guessing that he's so picky and particular about his onions that he cut it as thin as he wants. There was no machine available. I'll make it myself. Respect.
This is the thing I don't miss, by the way, about doing this. So for some reason, you could slice 20 onions and be crying like a baby. And all of a sudden, the 21st onion, you just stop.
So I have a huge trick for this. If you cry a lot whenever you're cutting onions, 2 things that at least work for me. Number 1, wear contact lenses. If you wear contact lenses, you're not gonna cry that much, almost nothing, everybody, for some reason. Number 2 is wear some type of safety glasses. That actually works. And let me just put a disclaimer. It works, but it doesn't stop it at all. And if you have a better remedy, let us know in the comments down below, because having a sharp knife and all that and all of the other things, it does not matter. You're still gonna cry like a baby.
But the real star of the show is the beef.
Beef.
Check this out.
That's
where the meat is
important.
hidden. It's roughly 700, 800 pounds. We have enough. I think we definitely have enough.
I love to know what kind of beef he's using, if it's 80-20 or if it's 25-75. I would also love to know what kind of beef he's using, if it's brisket and brisket chuck combination. But you can do that at home if you are willing to put the work and grind the beef yourself. Trust me, it will be better than buying store-bought.
We have a lot of tools here. They're all necessary. One is my spatula.
Ha! I used to use that quite a bit. As a matter of fact, where's that shit? Took me a second, yeah, but I used to use something just like that, everybody. And even though you think this is gonna work fantastic, I hate it. I don't like it anymore.
The grill takes a while to heat up. I think it's ready to go now.
Yep.
We usually turn it on about an hour before service. It's an old school 1-inch thick piece of steel. We could have chosen like a $35,000 griddle, but we had to use an old one because the newer models tend to burn our onions badly. So we use the old school model that will not burn the onions unless you really try to.
That's a great point right there. Being able to control the heat is key. Sometimes when you cook it on the grill, the charcoal gets so extremely hot that you have no option but the onion will get a little bit of burn. So being able to control the heat and dial it down whenever you need to is a must.
We're making an Oklahoma fried onion burger. I do it the historically accurate way. People used onions to extend their beef supply during hard times. Probably 20 years ago, I went out to Oklahoma and I thought, that's too many onions. But it's absolutely not too many onions. They cook down.
It looks like a lot of onion, yeah.
Smash burger cannot be hand formed. It has to be a ball of beef. But I like the effect and the way the smash burger looks when it starts as a ball.
See how he's smashing it down like that? That's what I used to have to do. As a matter of fact, I had to do something completely different. I had to have 2 smashers because the top gets hot, everybody. So I would do something like this. I would press it down the same exact way that he's doing, but since it was so hot, I would just press it down with a wooden tool. It's just not an efficient way. I say there has to be something better. But I also like different thickness of burgers. Sometimes I want it ultra smash. Other times I want it a little bit thicker. But there's no such thing on the market like that. So I had to develop my own, just like he did for his onion. This is my burger smasher. It's the only one of its kind in the market. And it has 3 levels of thickness. Rotate it, remove the ring just like this, and look at that, it's super flat now, so I can make it super ultra thin. Then, in here there's some prongs and they're offset. When they go inside, it locks in, so it's nice and firm. If you want it even thicker, remove it, then just flip it this way, put it right back in, lock it in place. Now you got a little bit thicker. The only burger smasher with 3 levels, everybody.
I can tell when it's ready to flip because I can see it. The edge is cooked, juices.
Now look what he's using. That's basically a paint scraper, and also it needs to be sharp. So I used to use one from Home Depot, and you all know that that's not food safe because it was actually galvanized metal. So after a lot of search, I said, you know what? I'm gonna develop my own. That's when I made the double spatula. Now one is slightly different than the other. They're a little bit offset. They're also magnetic. They allow you to scrape the burger and flip it with ease.
Cheese goes on the flip.
Look at the cheese that he's using. American cheese. The best cheese for a hamburger, everybody. There's nothing that comes even close.
And what I do is I give it a little bit of a cooked patch on one side so that when I do smash it, it doesn't get stuck to the spatula.
That is a great, great tip right there. He doesn't use parchment paper, everybody. But I'll tell you one thing. That takes a lot of practice. If you're first starting out, parchment paper is easier. That is a great technique. It takes time to learn it. But if you master the craft, you save money on parchment paper, which is good.
It's seasoned salt. It's Lowry's seasoned salt.
He's using Larry's seasoned salt. Nice.
Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I'm gonna make you a very special item here. I'm not gonna say what it is, and if you know what it's called, you can order it. All you need to know about this, it is the burger of my youth.
That's a patty melt, baby. I gotta say, when you make things properly, it's not complicated. The simplest recipes executed to perfection are the best ones that will always stand out from the rest. And if you make the perfect smash burger right, there's nothing that will beat it. If you guys are interested in any of my tools, remember they're all available at Walmart right now. Go get yourself some. We got the burger smasher. We got the spatula that comes together with the griddle. We also have the marinating container. And of course, the grill scraper to keep your grill clean. All available exclusively at every Walmart. Also at walmart.com. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. George, I would love to meet you and do a collaboration together. Let me know if you're down because you have just cooled everyone on how to make the perfect smash burger. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Pizza?
Oh, hell no.
No?
Yeah, we gotta do something.
Let's just cook something. Family style. Let's go. We got these beautiful filet mignons, A5 right here, olive Wagyu.
Oh, hell yeah!
Let's go, baby. Since it's the leftover from the actual video, I'm just gonna chop it up real small.
Excuse me.
Yo,
Sorry.
that sounds sexy.
Sorry, man. It's what happens when I come to town. Whoa.
We got a little bit of this meat right here, and the other protein we have available that we then use is bacon. Who don't like bacon? You like bacon?
I don't like bacon.
You don't like bacon?
Bacon fat, maybe.
Get out.
What you doing there, Josh? Cutting it up?
Slicing some onions for some crispy fried onions. Perfect for my diet.
Josh, what advice you have people not to cut their finger?
Don't do it. That's my advice.
Boom. Roasted.
Have you ever cut your fingers like on really bad that you couldn't operate anymore in the restaurant?
Oh yeah, I cut my knuckle off. I cut all the way down to the bone and my knuckle went flying into the air and into a batch of pickles, which I then had to throw away.
Oh my God.
But I still was working though.
You didn't stop.
No.
That's the thing with the restaurant people,
That
right?
doesn't happen, bro. Stop. What do you mean stop?
Protein ready. We got bacon. We got A5 Wagyu. Normally this is just the pellicle, we throw it out, but I want to use some of this Wagyu fat right here just to render it. That has done its job.
Watch out, Guga.
Just,
I don't wanna make sure.
no, you're good.
Oh,
It's a
there it goes.
yeah,
Right
you
in
still
the-
hit me.
Right in the ding dong.
But I got what I needed right here. It's just a little bit of fat. Now we're gonna cook this up. Just gonna quickly stir fry it, and that's it.
I just like fried onions. I think they go good on everything.
That's like the problem. You can't stop eating them.
That's exactly why we put them on.
All right, my oil's at temp. It's at around 350 Fahrenheit. Drop in my coated onions. Look at that. See that? Now, once these start to get ready, you gotta get your salt. Look at that. Beautiful. So I got some fine sea salt. You always want to hit it while it's still hot. It's bussin'.
Bussin', baby.
Oh,
This is a technique that we use in Brazil, everybody. We put lemon and beef together, and we eat it with some onions, and he's throwing some onions, some lemon. It's no way, it's not gonna be bad. Maybe a little bit more salt. And that's it. Some A5 taco meat.
What you doing on, Josh?
all the food that I just made, I'm eating now. What? Guga said he's never had Valentina hot sauce. which
Never.
is a big problem. This is really popular in Austin. I love it. It's one of my favorite hot sauces.
Is it really spicy?
No, it's not spicy, but it's got like a lot of spices in it.
What?
Taste it, you can see.
Ooh, that's not, it's not that spicy.
No, it's not that spicy.
That is nice.
It's not spicy at all. But you see how there's just more flavor in it.
Pretty good. Wow.
Put that in a mayo, then you're gonna.
My bacon's almost ready, everybody. I want my bacon to be nice and crispy.
I got my mayo. We're gonna use a little bit of Duke's. I'm a fan of Duke's. I don't mind it.
Oh, I love Dukes.
Put that in. Oh. Sorry, guys.
Oh, she's a squirter.
Damn, Guga's different when I'm around. So that goes in there, a little bit of mayo. We got our Valentina, we're gonna put that in there. So I'm gonna take the juice from the Chipotle, a little bit of that in there. You of course can blend this, right? But you know, not everybody has time for that.
And we're hungry.
And we're hungry as hell, man. Damn it. We got a little bit of lime. That's not blood, that's just Chipotle, just for the record. A little bit of fine sea salt in there. And just mix.
Woo-wee.
A little bit of
A nice acidic in there. Pringles, yeah! It's hard to do this on camera, everybody. That's not a lot of things. Sometimes we gotta get some crazy angles for camera, and it's not easy. Is that even working? I think you guys get it, right? I'm just straining the fat. This out of here. Another fart?
Yeah, bro.
Yo, chill out, bro.
I'm popping them.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Josh, which one is king? Corn tortilla or flour tortilla?
Corn, baby. And you know
Yes.
what? You wanna know why?
Yes.
2 reasons. A, because obviously. B, because it rhymes with something else. It's porn.
Sorry, children.
That's what I want to do. I want to stick this in your sauce. You know what I'm saying? Why does everything have to be sexual? That's not. Yes, thank you.
I didn't say it.
Yo.
Yo!
Yo.
That's busting for real.
That's busting, baby. What's yummy? I've cooked a lot of tortilla, everybody, because I love tacos, and I found out that this is the best way right here. Straight up on fire. And then immediately just throw it in some type of towel if you have towel. If you don't have towel, paper towel, or what else, Josh?
Your pants?
Your pants. Pants works. What you guys don't know about Josh is something quite impressive. He's a very nice singer. Josh, can we have a little bit?
Oh, singing?
Yes, please. Country though, country.
Oh, country?
No, it has to be country.
Let's get a Guga song.
A Guga song?
A Guga song.
I hope you don't break my heart, because that's a heartbreak. But nothing's better than Guga's steak.
Yo! That's good, Josh.
Boom, baby.
I told you this man is just not a chef. Professional singer.
And boxer too now.
Before moving forward, I want to thank today's sponsor, Dowstrong. As you guys know, I have been using Dowstrong knives forever. Not only do I love the way they feel, the way they look, but also how they stay sharp like razor blades after I put them to good use. A knife should be an extension of your hand. If you have one that you love, you're going to use it more often. As you can see, I have an overwhelming amount of knives. I do not like to store them in my kitchen drawer. I love the way they look, and for that reason, my knives are always on display. The key of a good knife is that they must feel good on your hand whenever you're using them. Having the right kind of knife that works for you is key. Dowstrong has many different series of epic knives. If you ask me which one is my favorite, it would be hard to pick, but this one I always reach out for. It is called the Firestorm Alpha series. It is fire, everybody. I mean, take a look at the handle. The attention to details is insane. And the blade just looks sexy. But if this is not your style, there are so many others. And if you think Dowstrong only has knife, no, papa. There is a lot more epic stuff. Kitchen essentials? Yes, they got it. Cookware? You better believe it. This past year, they even got together with Call of Duty. I mean, take a look at this, everybody. Now that is epic. So if you are ready to step up your game, make sure you guys check out their website, because I have a feeling you're gonna be as happy as me. Thank you, Dowstrong, for sponsoring this video, but now let's get right back to it. Okay, now we're hungry. Let's split a bunch. I'll throw the tortilla and you do your thing.
Okay, a little bit of meat, and then you do the bacon.
A little bit crispy bacon. Next.
You're gonna do the cotija, just crumble it on? Oh my lord.
Oh boy.
A little early, huh?
Yeah, I'm quick.
A little bit of sauce, and then you can do the cotija.
Right on top?
Yeah.
Got you.
Boom. This guy gets it. Look, we're on a restaurant style assembly line right now.
Yo, we're not playing around.
I'll do the crispy onions, and then you want to do the pickled onions? I have a little tweezers
let's do it.
in here.
You know what I've discovered from TikTok that I couldn't believe it actually works?
What?
Pickled onions, peanut butter sandwich. No.
All right, gonna get a little cilantro on these because it looks nice.
And it tastes good for me.
It tastes great. If you yeah, some people, you know, they don't like it. But look how pretty it looks when you put it on.
Yeah, come on. Done.
Boom.
Let's go. Now we eat. All right, Josh, nothing more than family style. When you cook, and we cook as much as we do, I love to share.
Oh,
so
same.
Thank you for making this for us, Josh.
Of course.
I appreciate it. We're going to enjoy this. Yes, gentlemen? Come on, everybody dig in. Get in there. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm so glad we didn't order food. This is so much better. Way better than pizza.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to check out Josh's channel. Everything will be a link on the description down below. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Great tacos.
Oh, killed it. Ow.
Thanks Drio Chef Maker for sponsoring this video.
On today's video, we are testing every single one of these machines. They have amazing features on them. They say they can cook everything. But let's be honest, Guga don't care about that. What I care about is, can it cook a steak perfectly? Well, we're about to find out right now.
And these are today's competitors. We have the Drio Chef Maker, Cuisinart Air Fryer Oven, the Ninja Smart Double Oven, and the Bravo Smart Oven Air Fryer Pro. First, let's check out the Drio Chef Maker. Here's the basket. It's non-stick, it has a rack to elevate the food, it has its own thermometer, and check this out, it's magnetic. On the top, there's a container for water. These features allows you to insert moisture as food is cooking, exactly like a steam oven. Check out the controls. For cooking, there are several modes. We got Chef Mode, Classic Cook, Probe Cook, Favorites, and Settings. If we jump into Chef Mode, in there we can find beef, pork, lamb, poultry, seafood, and vegetables. You can even choose from different cuts. That is helpful. Under Classic Cook, you have the traditional stuff. Next up is Probe Cook. If we jump right in, all you have to do is put the exact temperature you're looking for, and the Drio Chef Maker will do the rest. And you can save everything under Favorites for the ones that you use the most. But this is what it looks like. It's compact, it can go under your countertop, but at least for me there's one issue. You're limited by the basket. It's not that big. So if you're cooking for a lot of people, this is going to be tough. Next up, we got the Ninja. This one looks a little bit outdated for me. Let's just say it's not my taste. And once I open the cooking chamber, you can see that we have two. One on the top and one on the bottom. That's a really nice feature as you can cook two things at once. Now Now I'll be honest with you, these controllers I don't like. I couldn't figure out how things worked, but eventually I did. And I hope that he can cook a steak really well. We're about to find out real shortly, as the next contestant is this. Now as you can see, it is pretty straightforward. There's nothing fancy about it, but I kinda like it. The cooking chamber is a little bit small, but here's a feature I really like. When you pull out the tray, there's a hook that stops it. Now let's talk about the controllers. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that. There's even an oven timer. It has the ticky sound. Just listen.
And then?
This one is as simple as it gets. It's nice and it's cute, and I hope that it can cook a steak really nicely. Because now, check this one out, the Bravo. I had this one for the last 4 years, and it's been my workhorse. Now there are several things I like about it. I love the complete stainless steel look. It's also easy to clean, and the controllers look modern but also vintage at the same time. Now let's talk about the cooking chamber. It is bigger than all of the others. I can almost cook anything in here, and I probably use this a lot more than my home oven. But how well will it cook a steak? We're about to find out right now. And for that, I chose 4 beautiful ribeyes. Every single one of the steak has the same grading, and they look fantastic. For the seasoning, I'm gonna keep it exactly the same with all of them. I went with a good amount of salt, followed by freshly ground black pepper and garlic powder. I'm telling you, friends, if you season your steak properly, you're halfway there of making them taste really good, because the rest has to do with the cooking. So for the Drill Chef Maker is a little bit different than the other ones. So I jump into chef's mode, scroll down to ribeye, and as you can see, it is giving me step-by-step instructions to follow. It makes things easy and takes guessing away. It's telling me to insert the thermometer all the way through, and for better browning, it's asking me to rub some butter on the steak. So I got some melted butter and basted the whole thing with it, a good amount. And I put the steak right back in, and inside it went. Moving on to the next phase, it asked me my doneness. I chose medium rare and started to cook. All of the other machines were not able to tell me in step-by-step instruction. And to keep things fair, I used the instructions from the Chef Maker with all of the other ones. So I first basted all of the steaks with some butter. Then I immediately placed all of my steaks as close as possible to the heating element. Some of them were easier than the other. But to keep things fair, we're gonna cook them all at 6 minutes per side under the broiler. Now you're probably wondering, why did you choose 6 minutes per side? That's because the Chef Maker adjusted itself as it was cooking, and the steak was done exactly at 12 minutes. And check out the results. Now obviously we don't have the best crust, and that is expected. The question is, did it cook it to perfection? So as soon as I took my first slice, take a look. The steak looks nice and juicy. It's medium rare, and I cannot wait for my guys to taste it and tell me what they think. Because let me show you the steak from the Bravo Smart Oven. Take a look. Now this one had a hard time because the 2 heating elements are not in the middle. So when I sliced, take a look. You can clearly see that the middle was not cooked properly, and at the same time, the edges were. But the important thing is, how is it gonna taste? Because take a look at the Cuisinart one. There's not much crust, but the fat got a nice caramelization that I like. But as soon as I cut it open, I was surprised on how evenly cooked it was. I would call that a nice medium rare steak, and only done in 12 minutes. And here we have the one from the Ninja. I like the caramelization on the fat, and also a little bit of char. And as soon as I opened it up, take a look. Nice medium rare, juicy, and as I take more slices, not evenly cooked. Maybe it has something to do with the heating element as well. But now that we have all of our steaks ready, the important thing is the taste test. All of my guys have no idea what's going on. Let's see what they all think.
All right, boys, we got some steaks.
They don't look like our usual steaks, but let's see what's going on.
They look a little different than usual.
Yeah, but steaks are steaks, bro.
Yeah, but these steaks look kind of sad and boiled.
So if you're asking me visually, I'd probably have to say this one, only because it has probably the best crust out of all of them.
I agree with you, 2K. That one, it looks like the most pronounced crust. You can even see a little bit of burnt edges on it, whereas the other ones just look consistent in color.
I see why you guys are picking this one, because the crust is a little bit stronger than all the other ones, but it's a little bit raw, so I think I would go with this one. It's probably number 2 on crust, and then the doneness is nice.
I do agree with you. Now I see it. It does look a little bit raw, so you know what? I might have to go with this one.
I'm gonna go with this one. I think it's the best one, medium rare, just how I like it.
I kind of like how this one looks though. This first one looks really juicy. I think it has the perfect color and exactly what you're looking for a medium rare steak.
These two are definitely the top dogs, but I think for me, I'm going with the first one here.
Plus this last one is kind of blue, bro. What happened there?
That's not medium rare, that's medium raw.
All right, boys, how we always say, it doesn't matter how it looks, it's how it tastes. So I say we start tasting. Let's start left to right.
I say, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Cheers.
Cheers.
I see why you guys won by perfectly cooked.
Let me tell you, what that steak lacks in crust, it more than makes up for in flavor and tenderness. That is very juicy and soft. Very impressed by that.
Yeah, I'm not missing the crust as much as I would if it didn't have that flavor.
Yeah, this one's seasoned perfectly. I still want that crust. I still want that charcoal flavor. But at the same time, it's seasoned so well that I can look past it. That's a good steak.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Let's go.
Cheers.
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 Man, that is nice.
Look, that's also a really good steak. I will say the lack of crust, I don't mind it because it's very flavorful. However, it's not as flavorful as the first steak we tried.
I have to agree and disagree at the same time. I think the crust is a little bit better on this one. What saves this one is Guga used a great quality steak because it does lack a little bit of flavor. It's still tender and everything, but that has to do with the quality of the steak. This one still edges it out.
Between these two, I probably go the first one, but this second one is a crazy strong runner-up, and we still haven't tried the other two.
If we're moving on, I think this third one is probably the saddest looking one of the bunch.
Let's do it.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Is it me or does the flavor of this one feel the most washed out?
I agree.
It's like a sous vide steak that never got a crust.
I feel like the texture is a little bit different and it's almost kind of like slimy.
Feels like it's a boiled steak.
There's no crust, man. That's the thing that I just can't stand. I need more crust than that.
From the first steak we had, I feel like we're actually going downhill, but we're not done yet.
Yeah, we still got one more to go, which is the raw one, like you guys like to say. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
What I will say off the bat, this one has the crust that this one was lacking.
Even though it is a little bit undercooked, it's not a big deal. The crust is really nice, but the biggest issue for it is that the flavor is really lacking.
At the end of the day, the most important thing is how does it taste, how juicy is it, how tender is it. And just because it has a crust doesn't mean it's the winner. This one tastes the best, is the juiciest, and the most tender.
I'll put it to you like this. If we had to pay for one of these steaks, which one are we buying?
Oh, number one, all day.
I have to say the same. If I had to pay for one of these steaks, that first steak is definitely winning.
The proof is in the pudding, everybody. Nothing is more important than the taste. In the end of the day, here's the deal. Every one of those steaks were not perfect. I'll say it like it is. Does an air fryer make the best steak you can have? No, it doesn't. Doesn't matter which one you use. So you gotta weigh out the benefits. You're using the air fryer for convenience. And sometimes convenience comes with a price. Cooking a steak, at least for my taste, should be done a little bit different. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with me. If you did enjoy it, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. Remember, everything I use is always in the description down below.
If you're interested in getting the Chef Maker by Drill, there will be a $144 discount, $215 total price on Chef Maker's Amazon listing. This discount will be only available on November 24th, one day.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Thanks, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this video. Today, I'm going to show you a few reasons why my dry-aged steak is better than most. Let's begin. This is a 35 days bone-in dry-aged steak. As you know, I have done some insane experiments with dry age and I've learned quite a few. But here's my biggest recommendation for you if you want to start dry aging at home.
Just do it!
They have dry aging bags which will get you started in dry age. It makes the steaks more tender and it gives it a very unique flavor that is almost impossible to describe. With that being said, today I'm going to show you how I'm going to cook this steak indoors versus outdoor. Let me be very clear. If you want the best steak, you got to cook it outside on the charcoal. I've already done a video like that and you guys can check it out where I give you all the tips on the way I like to do it. However, I haven't shown you how to cook a steak indoors. Today is that day. The first thing you want for an indoor steak is to find one that is nice and thick.
He's thick!
You see this one here is about 2 inches thick. That's what you're looking for. And the reason you want that is that the pan is not that hot. So what happens is you will get a little bit of gray band. You want to minimize that gray band as much as possible. So starting with a thick steak is the best thing to do. But now I say enough talking and let's get cooking. First thing we got to do with a dry aged steak, especially a thick one like this, if I don't tie it up, it will actually break it apart on me. To do that, it's pretty simple. Grab a butcher twine, cut it up, go around the steak and tie it up 2 times. Chop up the excess, and now it will keep its shape. For the seasoning, I'll keep it real simple. A good amount of salt. Now I want you to notice the amount of salt I'm putting. Some people will go like, holy moly, that's ridiculous amount of salt. You gotta remember, this is a thick cut of steak, everybody. But not only that, as soon as I put it on the pan, a lot of this seasoning will be lost. That's one of the secrets of steakhouses. Season your steak properly. Next, freshly ground black pepper, a good amount. Try to have fine pepper, not big chunks of pepper that will get stuck in your teeth. They're not pleasant. And finally, a good amount of garlic powder. If this is your first time having a dry-aged steak, then do not use garlic powder. That way you're going to be able to distinguish a dry-aged steak and a non-dry-aged steak. We got that ready. I'm going to immediately turn on my oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, honestly, the pan that you're using will matter. I like to use a carbon steel pan for two reasons. It's light, not heavy like a cast iron skillet, but a cast iron skillet is just as good, everybody. Try to avoid this non-stick. It's not good for steaks. First thing, we're going to turn this on. I'm going to be using avocado oil. You can use any oil you like. Any high temperature oil will work, everybody. Don't make a big deal out of it, okay? The comment section love to say like, use extra virgin olive oil. If that's what you like, use it. But at least to me, it gives a little bit of off flavor if you sear it for too long. Here's one of the biggest mistakes most people make. They get the oil too hot. See how it's starting to smoke? Since I got that temperature, I'm going to lower it to medium high because we want to get a nice, beautiful golden brown crust, not burn, okay? You should immediately hear a little sizzle. You don't want to flip it immediately after you put it on the pan because you want that Maillard reaction to start happening. Usually you got to leave it there at least for 1 minute. Two things I want you to notice. First of all, we're starting to form a crust. You see that? But it's not perfect yet. But most importantly, look at the amount of seasoning there's left in there. That's what I was talking about. That's why you got to season it properly. But now I'm going to go ahead and go for the other side. Now I'll leave it like this for an additional minute. But before that, let me take a quick moment to thank today's sponsor, ZBiotics. Let's face it, after a night with drinks, I do not bounce back the next day the way I used to. I gotta make a choice. I can either have a great night or a great next day. But that is until I found ZBiotics. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotic produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut, where you need it the most. Just remember to drink ZBiotics before drinking alcohol. Drink responsibly and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. Give ZBiotics a try for yourself. Go to zbiotics.com/Guga to get 15% off your first order when you use Guga at checkout. ZBiotic is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they will refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/Guga and use the code Guga at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get right back to it. Minute has been up, starting to get that nice golden brown color. Let's flip it again. A rule of thumb, if you want to use 1 minute each side first and then flip it every 30 seconds. My crust should be starting to get nice and golden. That's what I like. Check it out, everybody. Looking beautiful. Please notice that I am in medium heat right now. If it was high heat, we were gonna be getting a lot more burn. Been 30 seconds, let's check it out, that golden brown color. See that, everybody? That's what you want. I'm happy with this crust already. I'm gonna go immediately for the edges a little bit. Let's get all of that edges nice golden brown. Again, I'm at medium heat. I'm not super high heat. I am medium heat right now, everybody. Now I'm happy with this. I'm gonna take my steak off. Just for a second, I'm going to turn off my burner. Check out the amount of seasoning there's left in here. That is a crazy amount of seasoning, everybody. So I'm going to remove all of this because some are burned, which is totally normal. Now, I don't need to make this perfect. I'm just trying to clean up my pan a little bit. And I'm also bringing the temperature down of that pan. Back it goes, and I'm going to put all of the butter and garlic in there. Now, it's still very hot, and please remember, my stove is completely off. I'm just using the residual heat. Now I'm gonna immediately grab my steak and put it back in there. I'm in no hurry, everybody. I am in full control. Don't panic when you're cooking a steak, okay? Now, stop sizzling. I'm gonna turn it back on and put it under medium heat, okay? Because what we really want to happen here is two things. We want the butter to start foaming up, but we also don't want the butter to burn. If it starts getting too brown, that's a no-go sign. And this is starting to fry up that garlic. Take a look how now it's foaming up. You see? That's what you want. You want to use that foam on top of the steak because what happens is a little bit of that Maillard reaction from the butter will stick to the steak. That's what you want. I'm happy with this. I mean, I can go for a little bit longer if I want to, but honestly, pretty happy. Now, I'm turning off my burner. Remember, this is a thick steak. It's still completely raw inside. So what I want to do is I'm going to transfer to an oven-safe plate. And now I'll put that beautiful butter on top of the steak. Oh, yes. If that garlic was golden brown, by the time I take off the steak, it will be burnt. Now into the oven until it reaches an internal temperature of 135. Took about 30 minutes, everybody, and it's fully cooked now. And it has been resting for 10 minutes. Resting is key for the perfect steak. If you want the best, let it rest, okay? Now I want you to notice one thing. My garlic is not burned, everybody. That's what you want. So even though the garlic is not golden brown, what I really want is to be super soft. And I mean, come on. That's like butter, everybody. We'll put it on the steak and it's gonna be delicious. First thing we gotta do is remove that butcher's twine. Look how it never lost its shape. Still looking exactly the same. If I did not do that, we would have lost the cap. It would have started coming off. To slice it, the first thing I like to do is to remove it from the bone, just like so. You all know that this is one of the best parts right here. And now we slice. Nice thick slices too. Don't get cheap with it, everybody. Do not rely on the poking thing. We all know that does not work. The biggest advice, use a thermometer. You will achieve perfect medium rare just like this. Now, to finish it up, what I like to do is go crazy, everybody. You don't eat steak every day. We're just gonna pour this butter on top of that steak. Oh, it's not fat-free, baby. It is not fat-free. Now it's time to try, and the best part for me is to have my friends and family give it a try.
Yeah!
Woo! Yeah! Was that Jamie Oliver? So that is how I like to cook my dry-aged steak indoors. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. As you guys know, I have cooked almost every steak in the world. From the world's most expensive Wagyu, all the way down to literally $1 steak. And there's one steak that still lives right here in my heart. It is this. Picanha. It's also known as the queen of all meats. And when you buy it, firstly, this is what it looks like. It has a small triangular shape. It has to have a triangular shape. First off, let's open it up. When we open it up, this is what it looks like, everybody. It needs a little bit of trimming. First, clearly you can see there's some silver skin right here. This must be removed. It's quite easy. I just add my knife to the bottom. The goal is to remove the least amount of meat as possible. In, out. That silver skin has been removed. Now I turn it to the other side and notice that we're missing a piece of the fat cap right here. That's an imperfection of the butcher. We're gonna fix that. This will make your steak look bad and it will also overcook. But it still tastes great and we can put it to good use, so reserve. The edges has too much extra fat, so I like to remove it. We can use it for burgers and many other things. It's nicely trimmed now, and some butchers will actually give you the picanha this way. But if you buy it from a big supermarket or anywhere else, then you gotta do a little bit of trimming. Now to cut them in steaks. Let me teach you the anatomy of a picanha. There are 3 veins. The first one is right here, the second one is right here, and the third one is here. 1, 2, 3. The proper way to have a picanha is this part must be completely cut off. Why? Picanha should have the texture of a filet mignon, but the flavor of a combination of ribeye, New York strip, and a flat iron steak, if that makes any sense at all. This part is chewy, and if you ever had a picanha that was not really tender, that's the part you had. So I like to take it off. To do that, we must cut it on the 3rd vein. Quite simple. And this is a nicely trimmed picanha, exactly what you're looking for. Only the best parts. Now we cut it into steaks, and it's quite simple. The first cut must be with the grain. The second cut, on the other hand, has to be against the grain, and you're only gonna achieve that when you're eating the picanha. So right now, cut it with the grain. And most importantly, thickness is very important. Not too thick, not too thin. We're looking about 1.5 inches thick. And then, do not forget to trim the fat properly. And in the end, you should be left with something like this. A beautifully trimmed picanha ready for the grill. Now for the seasoning. Traditionally, I only like salt. So here's how I like to season. A good amount of salt. This is a big, thick steak. It needs it. Season one side, flip them, and now the other side. Very important. Something a lot of people don't do is to season the fat. You gotta season the fat, everybody. The way I like to do it is I just like to grab it and rub it on the board like so to ensure that every single edge of the picanha is nicely seasoned. In Brazil, we use really thick rock salt. The problem with rock salt is that you must allow it time to penetrate deeply into the meat. Here in the US, we have kosher salt, which is quite popular. This will penetrate faster because remember one thing, salt is salt. There's no difference. But now that this is ready, there's one extra ingredient that I like to use nowadays. Let me show you. Butter. Oh yes. So I got a really cool container over here, everybody. This is my butter container. I've never showed it on videos. So literally what it is, it's stainless steel and inside it has a little basting brush. And since it's stainless steel, it's good for induction. And there we have it, everybody, perfectly melted. Now, some of you might think, should you be using clarified butter? Should you be using anything else? No. Real butter. You must use real butter. Why? Because we want the milk solids there. That produces an incredible flavor. And if you slightly burn it on the charcoal grill, it produces a nutty flavor that is just undeniably delicious. Now check this out. You see how it's becoming liquidy? This is called osmosis. The salt is drawing moisture out of the meat, becomes a brine, and then it penetrates deeply back in there. That's what you want. So the ideal thing is to normally do this a little bit ahead of time. But right now, we're hungry. We gotta finish these up right now. So let's go outside on the grill. Now, if you ask me, can you cook picanha indoors? 100% you can. But if we're trying to choose the best possible method, everybody, it is going to be outdoors with charcoal. Now for a grill, I recommend a grill that has two zones, a hot zone and a cold zone. First, let's light up the charcoal. Now, I don't understand why sometimes this is controversial. If you want the perfect steak, you should use a thermometer. This one is from Chef IQ. It is wireless. Now notice that I only have one probe, 5 steaks. You can obviously get more probes for it, as many as you want, but if you have one, it will give you a guidance on how the other steaks are cooking as well, because they're the same thickness. Now for the grilling, which is for a picanha, is quite challenging. And here's how I like to do it. We go ahead and grab the first steak, and we're gonna put it right here, but not the fat. Notice that the fat, I'm trying to avoid it, direct charcoal, just like this. We're putting the edges to cook. And right now, we're trying to get a sear. The sear is the most delicious thing on a steak, so we gotta get that part right. This one here is starting to look good. I'm literally, see, we're not there yet, but avoiding the direct fat contact, I'm just gonna flip it like this. Let's check these right here. You see that? We're starting to get there. We're avoiding as much as possible these little black bits of burned fat. See how things are starting to get a little bit out of hand? This is why I love this grill. I spin it, let everything calm down. We're starting to get a nice color. As you can see, we're gonna get this sear nice and easy and avoid burning anything. Take a look at that. That's what you want. But the fat is completely raw. And the reason why is because we're gonna sear that quite quickly. I'll show you that right now. I stack them up like this, hold them on my tongues. Now this, you gotta be real slow, cause look what happens. One of the biggest things most people do whenever they're starting to grill is they start freaking out. Don't freak out. Take your time and produce an incredible golden brown crust. And that's what you're looking for. Nicely golden brown, nothing is burned, because now we gotta cook it in indirect heat until we reach the internal temperature that you like. And again, use a thermometer because I'd rather be right than guess. Insert it in there. This one will let us know about all the other ones as well. And only now, because it's fully seared already, we still want that butter taste. Remember, picanha is very, very fatty, so we brush a little bit on top. Now we cover it, and then we slice. And there we have it, everybody. Perfectly cooked picanha. It is not burned, golden brown. That's what you want. Now you might think, why is this your favorite cut? Because it's delicious. We call this the queen of all steaks in Brazil for a reason. Now it's very important to let it rest. We want it, let it rest, but at the same time, we do not want it to get cold. So you're playing the fine line between letting it rest and getting cold. Usually for me, 5 minutes is good enough. Now let me show you some secrets. Come down here. From the biggest to the smallest. This cut is nice and tender. This one is slightly more tender. This one will be the best piece of picanha. Then it starts getting a little bit tougher and then tougher as well. And the best part about picanha is that it's not as expensive as a ribeye or a filet mignon. The only thing left to do now is to go ahead and slice it open. And here's how I like to slice it. Perfectly medium rare, exactly the way I like my picanha. Now that is as juicy as it gets, the best steak in the world. Enough talking, let's give it a try. Don't take my word for it. The best way to eat picanha, everybody, is just basically to use little, how do you call this thing?
Toothpicks.
Delicious.
Oh my God. Oh, that's a twofer.
The question is, how does it taste? What does picanha taste like?
The tenderness of a filet mignon, but the taste of a New York strip.
You want one, Angel?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
This was an amazing picanha. And if you guys want to try this incredible picanha recipe for yourselves, download Chef IQ app and pair it up with your smart thermometer to give it a try. Thank you, Chef IQ, for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. On today's video, we're going to find out why Wagyu beef is so expensive. As you know, it is the best piece of beef in the world. Usually, it is also extremely expensive depending where you're getting it from. Let me explain, because I've been to Japan, and I'll tell you one thing, it is not expensive over there. The varieties of Wagyus that they have is absolutely phenomenal. I got so lucky that I even went to a Wagyu farm. There they showed me how it's raised, and most importantly, the attention to details of how they take care of the cows and the feed that they give to the cow. But enough talking about it, because Business Insider did a full video on it. I want to react to it so that I can share my experiences that I have with Wagyu with you.
This is Wagyu beef, one of the most expensive meats in the world. Produced in Japan and prized for its rich marbling and buttery taste, high-grade Wagyu can cost up to $200 per pound.
Let me correct that, because depends on the Wagyu, it can cost up to $200 per pound, but if you are going Kobe beef, it's even more expensive than that, everybody. However, in Japan, it's just like a regular piece of beef for them, not that expensive at all.
The term Wagyu literally translates to Japanese cow, and it generally refers to 4 main breeds. These cows were bred for physical endurance, giving them more intramuscular fat cells. The fat is distributed more evenly throughout their muscle, which is why Wagyu beef looks pink and tastes so tender.
A lot of people will say that this right here, it doesn't have a good ratio because it's literally fat mixed with a little bit of beef. But I'll tell you one thing, everybody, the fat is not the same fat as we have here on the cattle in the US. It tastes different, it's softer, it's just better.
And the Japanese government tightly regulates Wagyu production to protect the value and quality of the meat. Wagyu is graded on 2 main factors: how much meat can be yielded and the quality of the marbled fat. Only A3 to A5 Wagyu is certified for sale in Japan.
So in Japan, they have this kind of grading over there: A5, A4, A3, A2, and A1. Here in the United States, we have a different kind of grading, which is USDA Prime, USDA Choice, Select. In Australia, on the other hand, they have a complete different system. It goes all the way up from Marbley Score 1 all the way up to 12. Every country has a different type of grading.
Wagyu beef has gained almost legendary status, and there are many myths about Wagyu farms and the way the animals are treated. From getting daily massages to being fed beer, but these often aren't true.
I like that he said that. It is not true, everybody. If you do find it, it is extremely rare where they will massage the cow, feed the cow some beer, have the cow watch some TVs and have a good time. That does not exist.
The cows are raised very differently in each region and by different farmers, but they're often raised by a breeder until they're about 10 months old and then sold at auction to a fattening farmer. By the time the calves are sold at auction, they can already fetch 40 times the price of US cattle. The fattening farmer will keep the animals in small pens and feed them a mixture of fiber and high-energy concentrate made from rice, wheat, and hay.
So different farmers have different feeds. Take, for example, this one right here.
Whiskey, beer.
Also whiskey byproducts and beer byproducts.
And sake byproducts as well.
Rice byproduct and sake byproduct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally put that on the feed. And it's okay to eat it if you want to. Or that farmer was just making fun of me or something. I don't know. It didn't taste bad. It just didn't have a lot of flavor.
If and when a cow goes to auction, it can sell for as much as $30,000. Comparatively, Black Angus cattle, which are considered the cream of the crop in countries like the United States and Australia, typically don't sell for more than $3,000. And depending on the kind, the Wagyu can fetch close to $200 per pound. High marbling is the common goal, but the approach varies by farm and area. While there are more than 300 varieties of Wagyu available, the most notable cuts come from 10 regions. One of the most expensive cuts is Matsusaka Wagyu from Mie Prefecture. Made exclusively from virgin female cows and highly prized for its tenderness. In 2002, one Matsusaka cow sold for 50 million yen, or roughly $400,000.
One cow, $400,000. Wow. Almost reminds me of the most expensive tuna, which was sold for $3 million. You see, the thing with Japanese people is that they take every single thing that they're growing extremely seriously. For example, a mango there can cost all the way up to $400. That's because they nurture that mango into its perfect. They do that with almost everything, and they're doing the same things with the cows now.
However, the best known cut of Wagyu is Kobe beef, which comes from the city of Kobe in Hyogo Prefecture, and is made exclusively from steers or castrated bulls. Although Kobe is commonly seen on US restaurant menus, customers should be wary of items like Kobe burgers, as authentic Kobe beef is too tender to be formed into a patty.
That is not true. I've made Kobe beef burgers before, and there's a problem with that because you render a lot of the fat and a lot of things do go to waste. But if you manage to put it together and have a bite, it is one of the most delicious burgers you will ever have in your life. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it, okay? But it is the best burger in the world, I'll tell you that right now.
The highest ranking Wagyu is A5 Miyazaki, a two-time winner of the Wagyu Olympics. A5 Miyazaki will cost you $100 or more per pound.
Not anymore. That used to be at that time when this video came out. Kobe beef is the champ right now. All of the farmers that raise Kobe beef cattle no longer go to the Wagyu Olympics. For one reason, they don't have to. They know that their stuff is the best. So why are they even gonna bother?
At Sakamai in New York City, it's the Wagyu of choice. The restaurant is best known for serving it in an $85 katsu sando, a popular Japanese-style sandwich.
I remember when that sandwich came out, everybody, that looks so delicious. I've actually done my take on it as well, and I promise you, it is phenomenal. After I made it, I wanted to taste exactly what it tasted like. I even went to the exact location just to see, and yeah, it's pretty good.
There are a lot of tariffs and quotas on Japanese beef imports, and it's actually not allowed to import live cattle, so it is very difficult to source Wagyu.
So is it worth it? We decided to have our team give A5 Miyazaki Wagyu a try.
Holy it's so good.
That's the reaction, everybody. Absolutely, it is worth it.
And there might be something even more sought after than the A5 Miyazaki. Hailed as the rarest steak in the world, olive Wagyu comes from cattle raised on pressed, dried olive peels mixed into their feed. It was developed in 2006 by a Japanese cattle farmer named Masaki Ishii. Only about 2,200 of these cows were slaughtered in 2018, and they all live on the island of Shodoshima, home to Japan's oldest olive oil plantation. This special Wagyu is said to be extra tender, and can cost anywhere from $120 to over $300 for a steak.
So fun fact about olive Wagyu, everybody, yes, it is phenomenal. And if you have the opportunity, you should definitely try. But if you don't have nothing to compare it to, you will not even notice the difference. Does it taste like olive or anything like that? No, not at all. But it does have a different kind of flavor. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but it costs a lot more money. And if you're having your Wagyu experience for the very first time, I don't think it's worth it.
While Wagyu's popularity grows worldwide, the domestic picture is a little different. Wagyu's popularity in Japan is actually slumping slightly, and the country imported more US beef than any other country as of 2017. The value of Japanese exports of Wagyu has risen over 200% in the past 5 years. And as Japan's population ages, farmers are struggling to keep up with the increased global demand, raising prices even more.
That's so true right there, because the farmer literally told me that he's not interested in making more cattle, raising more numbers of cows. He's interested in beefing up the quality of what he has versus having just a massive amount. He even mentioned to me that he's mixing up the feed of the cow so that you don't get so full when you're eating Wagyu. And that's so interesting to me, because if you ever had Japanese Wagyu A5, you know you can only have a small bites as it is extremely rich. But he's tweaking the feed in order to adjust that. That is insane. Who thinks like that?
However, Japan may eventually have some competition when it comes to producing high-quality Wagyu. Countries like the US, Australia, and the UK have been working on breeding their own Wagyu, usually relying on crossbreeding. Most British American and Australian Wagyu are only 50% purebred, but that may be changing soon. In the UK, for example, the Wagyu Breeders Association now registers DNA verified full-blood Wagyu bulls and certifies authentic British Wagyu.
I had no idea that there's such thing as British Wagyu. I would love to give it a try, and if you had tried, please let me know if it's good or not. I did have Australian, and it is one of my favorites. Why? Because it's not as rich as a Japanese Wagyu A5. It's something that you can eat an entire steak in one sitting.
New methods and increased regulation may result in a product as good as the original, which means that there soon could be a lot more Wagyu that costs a lot less.
I like that. I like that final statement there. Let me know in the comments down below if you ever had Wagyu and if you understand why Wagyu is so expensive. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. And remember, if you want me to react to any videos, put it down in the comments down below because we're going to make it happen. See you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.